Thanks for joining me today on the MRE Experience, and today we have a pretty unique menu. This is a Norwegian AFR, otherwise known as an Arctic Field Ration. This is menu number 18, cod in creamy curry sauce. I'm not sure if they stopped producing the cod in creamy sauce. I think I did read on a couple forums that these are starting to become very hard to find, and they might have in fact discontinued this menu. So I'm pretty excited about having this and trying it and sharing it with everyone. So these are really unique, all right? These aren't just cold weather rations. This is an Arctic survival ration. These are designed for the Norwegian Armed Forces. This food is built to function in temperatures as low as minus 40 degrees, where most rations just simply fail. Soldiers operating in Arctic burn massive calories just staying warm, which is why these rations can push 5,000 to 6,000 calories per day, in heavy emphasis on fat for sustained energy for body heat. Instead of retort pouches, Norway relies heavily on freeze-dried meals. They don't freeze solid, they weigh less, and they're perfect for long ski patrols where every ounce matters. This ration assumes that you're using a stove, melting snow, heating meals, and drinking hot liquids constantly. Coffee, tea, and soup aren't comfort foods here. They're mission-critical tools for hydration, morale, and survival. Everything about this ration reflects Arctic warfare reality. Simple, calorie-dense, and brutally practical. This isn't food for convenience. This is food for endurance. Now, if we look at the macros on this meal, 1,300 calories on the label, but it's actually a little more. We have 325 grams of energy, which also break down to 5,679 kilojoules, or 1,356 kcals. We have 17.1 grams of saturated fat, 146 grams of carbs, 11 grams of fiber, massive 47 grams of protein, and 6.3 grams of salt. This ration comes in at 402 grams, or 14.18 ounces. This is a NATO approved ration, which means it's universally adopted by NATO, and the languages that are on the label are Norwegian, English, French, and Dutch. So if we compare this to a US meal cold weather, you can clearly see the size difference. They're about the same calorie content, but look at the size difference. Even if you kind of scrunch this down, it's still considerably larger. You could put one of these in a cargo pouch on your pants, one in each pocket. Generally, they're issued 2 to 3 of these a day. But yeah, can you imagine trying to pack away 3 of these in your cargo pocket? You would really be out of luck there. So let's get this out of the way. Let's open this guy up and let's see what we got. All right, so these have a peelable seal on them right here, and they peel right open. See how nice that opens up? And let's see what we got here. We have raisins, 42 grams. We have a blueberry, real on the go, 27 grams of protein. We have a disinfectant wipe, which contains ethanol, probably a disinfectant wipe. We have, these are amazing coffees, amazing. One of the best coffees you could find in a ration. Podler Mill Colombian instant coffee. And they don't show a weight on how much is in here. That is absolutely outstanding coffee. We have real field meal chewing gum, spearmint flavored. We have a dark chocolate, 60% cacao, and let's see, if 25 grams. We have our freeze-dried meal here. This is, it's kind of hard to read it when it's so vacuum packed. Oh, there we go. 530 gram main. Nice. That is, hear that? That is solid pack. Then we have a, oh, look at this. That's pretty interesting. We have a Bridgeford food product. Tortilla with seasoned beef. Looks like it's like a sandwich, a tortilla sandwich. All right, this comes in at 80 grams, and this has 280 calories. Looks like 6 grams of saturated fat, 35 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fiber, 13 grams of protein, 2.3 grams of salt. Nice. That's pretty interesting. And it looks like we have a little powdery residue in here. I don't know what this is from. See that? It looks like we might have, our pouch might have opened, left a little leak. All right, we have a lemon energy drink. 30 grams. You have to add 3 deciliters of cold water, and it actually has a fill line right here. So let me wipe this off. We also have a little bag here to throw your products. I don't know what happened here, why this is so coated. Actually smells like chocolate. I think we might have had our chocolate bar. Yeah, I see a little hole here. Looks like our, no, I'm not sure. We'll get into this and we'll check it out. So let me wipe this down. Let me plate this up. Let me get some hot water and we'll start cooking. Stand by. All right, we're back. We got everything trayed up. This looks really good. We have our lemon isotonic drink. We have our Potter Mill Colombian coffee, which is one of the best freeze-dried coffees you can find in a ration. We have our raisins. We have our tortilla with seasoned beef Bridgeford product. This is a U.S. product contracted for the Norwegian Arctic Field Ration. We have our full main. We have our blueberry protein bar. And we have our dark chocolate with chewing gum. So we're going to first make our drinks and enjoy this with possibly our chocolate and our protein bar. And then we'll get the main set up because I want to enjoy that piping hot and I don't want it to sit there and get cold while I'm eating this stuff. So we're just going to pause on that. I have water boiling for this. I did use some kind of semi-lukewarm water for this because I had these before. They're really good, but I would like to try it actually maybe not cold, maybe kind of warm, lukewarm. You know, if you're in an Arctic environment, I don't think you're going to be too happy about drinking something cold. So I already see a little drink mix here in the fold. Yeah. And what's kind of unique about these European style rations, they don't put anti-caking agents in their drinks. They don't put a lot of unnecessary chemicals or additives. They're very, very keen on keeping things natural and, you know, keeping the unnecessary stuff out. And I totally agree with that. I don't understand why we can't do it. So look at that. It's all sugared up in there. You see that? So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of open this. We're going to pour our liquid in it because we want all of that. I don't want to waste none of that. I'm just going to pour a little in. And we got a lot of stuff on this crease that's going to really create a problem on sealing our bag. All right, I kind of think I have it cleaned out. Let's see how we do here. Oh, And one thing I kind of realized is they don't give you napkins in these menus. Yeah, that's the one complaint I kind of have about these menus is there's no napkins. So I don't know if they get issued them separately, if they use handkerchiefs or what, but oh no. We're making a mess here. All right, let's get through this. Let's open this up. Yeah, that started rehydrating nicely. Yep, and there's nothing left in the bottom of that bag. So we're going to add some more water to that. That's about right. Let's clean off our raisins and let's start enjoying this. All right, let's got a pretty decent spoon here. This thing is not flimsy by any means, so that rehydrated nicely. Let's take a look at our, they give you a disinfectant wipe, but this isn't really napkin. This is to kind of sterilize your hands to start eating. That really does smell good. Got hit with blueberries. Got hit with oats. Let's see what the main ingredients is. Okay, this is a soy crisp predominantly. And yeah, that is a large ingredient list. But it's also in 4 different languages. So, all right, either way, that's going to be good. Let's check out our chocolate here. This is what I think melted. Seems like this meal might have got heat stressed at some point. So let's look at this, see what it looks like. Yeah, looks like we got a little bloom going on here. Yeah, this definitely saw some heat. But I don't care. It's going to be good chocolate either way. Yeah, this definitely melted all the way. That's okay. We're going to enjoy it. Let's give a little taste here. That's good chocolate. Yep, and the raisins look like they're a little stuck together too. So this meal did see a little heat stress. But that's okay. Let's give them a taste. Yep, they're fine. Like I said, the European, specifically Norwegian, they put their menu, shelf stability time is a little shorter than ours because they don't load them up with anti-caking agents, preservatives, but these just got a little coating of sugar. Looks like they crystallized. These are fine. Give a taste of our blueberry protein bar. And let's open up our beef tortilla. I did put this in some simmering water for about 4 minutes to kind of moisten it up. And let's check that out. All right. Nice and moist. Got a nice spicy beef flavor. Let's open that up. Look at that. Got like a processed meat in it. Let's give that a try. That's actually pretty good. It's got a spicy barbecue flavor. It has a little heat to it. It's not mild. but it's nice. It's nice. It's got a very pleasant smell to it. It's kind of tasty. Heating up is definitely the way to go. If this was going to be cold, this would have been kind of demoralizing to eat. This reminds me of a product that's in a First Strike U.S. ration. These are pretty good. All right, let's try our lemon isotonic drink that we warmed up. It's not cold water. That is actually really good warm. That's the way to go with that warm. It's nice cold, but if you're trying to warm up your core temperature in an Arctic environment, you're cold, you've been cold all day, that is really nice. It almost looks like there's some lemon oils on the surface. You could also see it kind of coating the glass on the edges. That is really nice. I like that. All right, let's finish this up so we can get to our main. The way this menu is laid out, I can kind of understand it. These items, the raisins, the chocolate, the cereal bar, the beef wrap, those would be quick foods that you would stuff in your pockets, kind of eat on the move if you don't have time to sit down. And then when you really have time to sit down, you would make your coffee, your drink, heat up your main, and really enjoy it. So I like how this menu is laid out. It makes sense. And again, the quality of the items are always top notch. MREs are on one level. Then you have the meal cold weathers. They kick it up a notch. These Norwegian field rations, they just bring it to a whole nother level. All right, let's finish this up, and then we'll retrieve our water that's boiling right now for this. All right, we're back. Got some really nice hot scalding water. We're gonna rehydrate our main. Got a nice gusseted bottom on this bag. Wow, that smells good. All right, let's see. Where is the fill line on this? Right here. All right, that's about it right there. Give that a nice mix. Wow, and that is kicking off already a unique smell. I think we might have to just add a touch more. I'm going to seal that back up. Give that a little shake. Let that sit here. Now, in the time being, all right, let's get this out. This is like coffee gold right here. Wow, what a rich smell. This is definitely a freeze-dried coffee because of the large chunks. And Norway, coffee is actually part of their culture. So when they make these meals, they actually contract out a very high quality freeze-dried coffee for these mains. We're not going to make too strong of a cup. I'm going to go about 6 ounces. Give that a nice mixing. And you notice they don't include any sugar or creamer because they don't want to dull the taste. The rich, very low acidic, and very bold coffee taste. All right, let's give that a try. Wow. Talk about a quality cup of coffee from a field ration. That is absolutely top notch. All right, let's check out this dark chocolate bar while that main is warming up. Very high quality chocolate. It has a light, sweet undertone to it with just the right amount of bitter taste to it to kind of balance it. Even with this being heat bloomed, this chocolate is absolutely fantastic. And paired with this coffee, that's a winning combination. Wow, that is absolutely amazing. Very rich, very bold, no acidity to it at all. That is such a unique lemon flavor. It's not sour by any means. It has almost like a sweet, but yet just a hint of tart. And then you're getting your minerals and your salts, but they're not offensive or overwhelming. And I'm telling you, they must put a little lemon oil in this because I still see the oil on top and it leaves such a pleasant lemon finish without being bitter or sour. That is a winning combination right there. Piece of chocolate, handful of raisins, and you finish it off with the absolute best ration coffee probably in the world. Right there. All right, we're just about done here. And I don't know if I'm about to mess this up, but we have a little bit of chocolate crumbs here. And I'm just curious if we can make this amazing coffee just a little bit better by adding a little dark chocolate flavor to it. So let's throw it in there. It's a shame they don't give you more. Yeah, that was minuscule. That didn't even put a dent in that rich, bold coffee flavor. All right, let's open this main and see how it came out. Wow. Ooh, the smell of cod and curry. Okay, that's pretty much everything. Looks like we have some liquid on top, a little dry spot on the bottom, but we're going to just incorporate that all in. Looks like I didn't mix it up thoroughly, but that's okay. Look at the size of this main. That looks absolutely fantastic. And the smell coming off this, very mild, fishy smell. Almost like a fish and chips smell. But look at that. We got, looks like carrots. We got cod. This is really looking good. Let's give it a try. Wow. That is absolutely delicious. A very mild curry flavor. It almost kind of reminds me of like if you were to take curry and mashed potatoes. It's a very creamy, buttery sauce. It's got really nice cod flakes in it. And even though they were freeze-dried, you couldn't tell. They rehydrated perfectly. Maybe fish just rehydrates better when it's warmed up. Yep. Let's get a nice bite of that. This is really savory. I could see why this is the favorite menu. This is absolutely ridiculous. Such a wholesome, filling, heavy meal. Look at that. I probably could have added maybe another half ounce of water to make it even more creamier and soupier, but I think this is perfect right here. Have some of this amazing coffee. That goes so good with this. All right, I'm looking at the contents of the pouch here, and it looks like we have potatoes, cod, citrus fiber, potato flour, salt, carrot, onion, cream, wheat flour, fish bouillon, salt, maltodextrin, yeast extract, vegetables, seasoning, curry, and ascorbic acid. This is a serious menu. This is really good. So that's why it kind of tastes like mashed potatoes, because there's actually potatoes in this. You could definitely taste the onions. It's not overwhelming, but it really goes well with the potatoes and the fish and the carrots. Wow, I am really, really getting stuffed. This is a very hearty and dense meal. Very thick. Very starchy. All right, I'm really struggling to finish this. This is really deceiving how thick and heavy it is. So the one thing I don't want to let get cold is this coffee. I'm going to finish this. Ah, that is truly one of the best coffees I've ever had in a ration. So let's recap our meal. Today we looked at a Norwegian AFR, menu number 18, cod in creamy curry sauce. It came with a lemon isotonic beverage, which we served warm. Really brought out the flavors and the oils in the lemon. Very pleasant isotonic drink. We had a blueberry and granola energy bar. That was fantastic. We had some plain raisins. They were good. We had a 60% dark chocolate bar, which we had a little bloom on, but no way affected the taste. We had our absolutely insane Colombian freeze-dried instant coffee, which we didn't get any sugar or creamer to because we didn't want to dull the flavors. That was 100%. And, our gum. Let's check out our gum. We have 2 pieces of spearmint gum. And our main was our cod in creamy curry sauce. That was absolutely ridiculous. Now I could see why people look for this menu specifically. And I did do some research, and this is still in their menu lineup. So it hasn't gone away. It's in their new menu lineup for 2025, 2026. So if you could find this, I would definitely recommend getting this menu. These menus are packed with food and flavor and calories and protein. This is a hit. The gum is really high quality gum base. It really has a thin candy shell, not like, the US MRE chiclets. Has a very thin candy shell. It really does have a pleasant spearmint chew to it and a nice bite. It doesn't fall apart as you chew it, and it has some really good flavor. So let's wrap this up by using our disinfectant wipe and clean up. I'm pretty sure this has some disinfectant and ethanol in it, so we're not going to use it on our face or any private part. Wow, look how wet that is. That is serious. Has a really nice cooling effect to it. That's probably the alcohol and the ethanol. Yep, there's no flavor to it. I mean scent. It's just straight up disinfectant. Very heavy alcohol. And you could already see it's already evaporating. It's almost dry. Wow. Pretty strong towel. I'm giving that, look at it, it's starting to rip, but I was giving that a pretty hard tug. That's a plus. That's decent. And I could almost feel like a lotion feel to it now. That's nice. Would have been nice if they added some fragrance to it, because it still just smells like straight up alcohol. But we're done here. All right, let me know what you thought about this menu. I'm going to finish this off camera because I'm not throwing any of this away. This was absolutely amazing. I want to say again to my subscribers, thank you for watching this content and blowing up the channel, commenting, and coming back for more. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to keep producing this content for you guys and gals. So thanks for stopping by again. If you made it this far, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.